Hi, my name's Ouija Wee, and I'm going to do a tutorial for speedrunning Kung Fu for the NES, and I'm going to be covering the more advanced strats that have been found and are being used in speedrunning today. So first you'll notice the bottom left of the screen, I have an NES controller. When I press up, the up on the D-pad will highlight, and down, left, right, select, start, which started the game, B and A. Okay? Cool. Might as well make a save state while we're here. So the first kick of the game, first two kicks of the game, I should say, are actually pretty hard. You don't want to kick the first enemy too late, because then you won't have time to kick the second one. So what you want to do is kick him as early as possible, like that. Even whiff a few times, so you can get a feel of how early you want to kick him. Eventually you'll connect, and then you'll have time to jump kick the second enemy. And this is really a pretty hard trick, and it's something that the top runners will reset over if they don't get. So you do that, and then you'll get a nice grouping of 3, and then another smaller grouping of 3, which you saw me jump kick the first guy, and then I kicked and punched the second and third guy. You can punch both, you can kick both, it doesn't matter. We'll start over here. 3 jump kicks, another group of 3 jump kicks. And then kick, punch, punch. Oops. One more time. I was trying to make a save state and I accidentally jumped. So 6 jump kicks to start. Kick, punch, punch. And I'll make a save state here. 2 more jump kicks, and then you'll see the first knife guy. Now the new strats call for us to jump into the first knife and to get kind of a fast knife cancel. Just like that. I'm going to do that exact same thing one more time, just like that, and then get ready to moon kick, which I missed. And I'll explain the moon kick in a sec. I'll show the knife cancels one more time. Quick jump. Now the first knife, you can actually do a quicker jump into, which will set up a different boss strat later. But if you jump too slow, it'll look something like that, or like that. So you want it to look like a quick up and down, just like that. And you want the second one to look exactly the same. Okay. And then the moon kick here. Missed again. I'll make a save state when we get there again. That was too slow. Too slow. There we go. Got it. Okay, so I'll make a save state here. And that's the moon kick. And if you don't know how to do a moon kick, and you want to learn the advanced strats, this is a perfect time to learn it, because the moon kicks are actually required to pull off in levels 1 and 2 in this run. It's not really required anywhere else, but in order to finish levels 1 and 2 using the strats that I'll be teaching, you need to learn how to do a moon kick. Both walking left and then moon kicking to the right, and walking right and moon kicking to the left. So what it entails, if you want to look at my controller, is while I'm holding left, 1 frame after holding left, I hit right and up. And that'll make Thomas turn around and jump into the air. And then while you're in the air, you have to hit the B button in order to kick, like that. And the rest of the strats for level 1 are going to look just like that right there. And I'll cover that after I show another moon kick real quick. And so yeah. The way this game works, okay, is every pattern an enemy has, or every spawning enemy, is based on what frame you're on when you reach a certain point. So up to this point right here, the reason we're jumping into the knives the way that we are, and the reason why we're doing a moon kick here, is because if you do it all correctly, it sets up a really nice boss pattern, where you can 100% of the time jump kick him, and then kneel down, and then punch him twice to kill him. And it also sets up a knife throw that's going to be coming right after your last punch that you can jump into. And if you jump into the knife that's above you, then it does a quick cancel on a stun animation, so you can start walking towards the knife thrower at the end of the stage. So we're going to do that. Quick moon kick. Jump kick the boss down, jump into the knife, walk towards this guy, jump kick him. And then when you get to the edge of the screen, you want to jump kick him, and then you want to hit the edge of the screen before you hit the ground. The reason for that is because every time you jump, you lose 2 frames when you hit the ground. So if you jump kick the knife guy at the edge of the screen and then land before walking, to the edge of the screen to finish the level, you lose 2 frames. Now the timer in the top right is 1525. If you do the stage correctly, it'll be somewhere around there in the low to high 1520s. I've seen as high as 1529, and depending on what kind of knife cancels you get near the end after you kill the boss, it can be as low as 1520, 1521. But this moon kick is required right here. And I don't know if you noticed that, but I did a little crouch before I did the moon kick, so we get a different pattern on the boss because we got to him on a different frame. So you got to be really careful when you do your moon kicks not to crouch, or it does change the RNG or the randomness of the game moving forward. So that was good. Jump into the knife, and I was too slow. So that's a reset. Moon kick, jump into the knife, and I got a slow knife cancel there because I jumped too early into the knife, and we'll get a lower 1520 time. So what you really want the stage to look like is that perfect jump into the knife. Gives you a kind of a tiny little stun sometimes, depending on where it hits you and when you jump. But you can get a really fast. That was actually a little slower than just standing right up into it, and I walked right for some reason. Another little trick to this level to do it a little faster is to jump as close to the close to the boss as possible before you kill him. Because your next action is to jump into the knife, and the closer to the end of the level you are, the faster you're going to get there. So, for example, well, I did a little duck there. If I kick the boss and I'm that far away from him, I have to wait for the knife to come a little bit further to the right before I jump up into it, and that loses time. So you want to be really close to the boss. Even closer than that. Right there. And then I'll put you closer to the end of the level and you'll be able to do the knife cancel faster. And I'm still not getting it perfectly yet. Let me keep trying. And that was a little too close. As you see, my punches went through him. I did a crouch there. That was pretty good. I turned around again, though. 1528. Let me see if I can just get that 1529. Yeah, a little bit of a delay on the jump cancel there, so it's a little slower. I jump kicked him a little too late. 1528 though. One more try. No, not perfect. But anyway, that's how level 1's going to look. Now there's one other thing to show you in level 1, and it's kind of a backup strat. And it has the potential to be faster. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be a backup strat, but it should be because it's a little bit harder. And you'll see why when I get there. And it has to do with when you get to the first knife guy. Oh, I shouldn't have jumped there. When you get to the first knife guy, sometimes you do an even faster knife cancel. Or jump cancel when you jump into the knife that comes at you. And if you do that, you're going to get to the boss on a different pattern. Let's see if I can do it here. So normally just... Oh, there it was. So normally it's like that. But if you get that really fast one right there, it's literally frame perfect, I think. That one. Then you'll get to the boss on a different frame. Don't want that slow jump into the second knife, though. You still want to do the second knife the same way. Let's see if we can get it here. Oops. Trying to make a save state, I have to hit A. I ducked. Here we go. Nope. So if you do get this pattern in a run, it can be slightly faster because of the boss pattern. Okay, good. So if you get here, you still have to do the moon kick. But after you jump kick the boss, he's not going to kneel. He's going to keep standing. Like that. And this is the tricky part, okay? You don't want to kick him until the knife is coming out of the hand of the knife thrower. Or you're going to get stunned, like right there. My head went down. You see, I kick him and then, oh, my head. I get stunned. Right there. Now, you can skip that stun animation and do this quicker. by kicking the boss a little later. As you see the knife coming out of his hand, I did a little duck there, right there, and no stun, because I'm actually falling. I haven't actually hit the ground when the knife hits me yet, because I'm kicking later. And the later you kick, the more hang time you have in the air. So, late kick is the knife is coming out, and then you want to jump kick this guy again. But before you do that, another tricky part, you want to do a punch cancel. Now, what's a punch cancel? Okay. Well, you don't have to do it, but I'll show it off anyway. If you just hold left after you do this, you don't start walking right away. You kind of stand there for a couple of frames. 1527 is pretty good, okay? So, yeah, you kind of stall for a few frames before you walk. And I think I may have hit the floor before the edge of the stage there and lost a few frames. Do this one more time. Oh. And it might be because I'm not kicking the knife guy as fast as I possibly can after I kill the boss. Stunned. Nope. And that whole I'm not walking at things messing with me because I'm jumping straight up into the air. Okay, so 1526, 1527. But if you do a punch cancel, then you can actually get to the end of the stage a bit quicker. Now, a punch cancel is when you punch and then you hit down and then you start walking. And it's actually faster than walking, punching, and then just holding right on the D-pad. So I'm holding right and pressing A, and it's punch, walk, punch, walk, punch, walk, punch, walk, punch, walk. But if you punch and then press down really quick, really quick, you can start walking right away. So instead of punch, walk, it's punch, down, walk. So punch, walk, punch, walk, punch, walk, punch, walk. Much faster than just punch, walk, punch, walk. So you do a punch cancel. Punch, down, walk. So it's punch, walk. Real fast. So we're going to try that now. Oh, jumped by accident. Stunned. So this is why this is like a backup strat, because it's quite a bit harder, even with the moon kick in it. There's a lot more going on. Okay, I did a punch cancel. I don't know if I saved that many frames, though. Okay, 1529. I guess I did. See if I can get 1530. If this isn't in, I'm probably not going to get it. There it is. So the punch cancel can save, let's see, I was getting 1526, 1527, now I'm 1529, 1530. Each tick down on the timer during the gameplay is 3 frames. So the difference there was about 9 frames. I saved 9 frames doing that. And that's pretty significant in a game that's only 3.5 minutes long. So that punch cancel is really nice to have there. Even if you mess it up, you could still save some frames doing it, and there's no reason not to do it, really. So that's pretty much level 1. Let's do some level 2. Let's finish this one more time. Badly. Oh wait, I get a number 2 save state. Okay, so level 2. Level 2. I'm going to show you a couple of strats that you can use. The one that I use right now is harder, and it's not any faster than the easy one. So I'm just going to show you the easy one. And then because, people wonder what I'm doing, I'll show mine too. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is jump punch that snake, and then you're going to jump there, or he's going to hit you. You can jump kick the snake, which I find harder, but if you don't jump there, you're getting hit. So you jump punch, then jump. You can ignore that. But this thing right here, we're going to jump on top of it. And the way we do that is, for the easier strat, is you want to jump right when it's on the same plane as that ball that we just walked by. So when it's a little higher than that, that's exactly when we want to jump. So right when it's here, well, maybe not quite there, but and before that. So you want to try and do it as precisely as possible because, again, everything in every frame matters in this game. So right there, and then there'll be a dragon here. You just walk through them. And if you did it right, there's a ball to kick. And sometimes it's a tall guy there, and sometimes it's a short guy. And then I did a little jump there because I wasted 2 frames on purpose to manipulate a spawn. If I don't jump there, the middle guy is going to be shorter. So I'll go over it again here. Jump punch, jump over, jump right there-ish, so jump on top. And pausing the game messes up everything too, so I shouldn't do that and then keep going. Jump over, jump right there, take damage from the dragon. We're going to kick the ball and maybe jump over a little guy, maybe kick a big guy. That's probably the more common pattern. And then you want to jump right there to manipulate a tall spawn. Moon kick, double kick the boss, and you're done. So that last part, you're doing a moon kick now while walking right. That does take some practice. Everybody seems to do it differently. I actually recommend holding right on the D-pad and then moving your right hand over to hit left and up at the same time. And the way that I do that is I put the controller on my right thigh while I'm holding it, while I'm holding right. That way that'll steady it. And then I take my right hand off the controller, and when I want to do a jump kick, if you see I'm holding right now, my right hand does this on the D-pad real quick. And then I switch over and hit B with my right hand. Sometimes I'll miss and I'll hit start. Sometimes I miss and I'll do a moon punch. But I find this the most consistent way. So do it however you feel. Try some things. Everybody has a different and that'll happen sometimes. Everybody has a different preference. So one thing I want to show you is what I just did there, and when I didn't do it right. If you jump too early, sometimes if you jump too early, instead of stomping the snake and walking, you'll actually take a stun. Like that. And that's bad. You can still take the damage here, but the spawns up ahead aren't going to line up so that you can get through them. You might be able to walk under the ball and then jump kick the 2 tall guys. Let's see if we can do that. If you jump too early, whoops, we got stunned. No. So the little guy is going to come right at you right around there. So again, you want to jump at the right time, which would be lined up with the ball right there. Take the damage from the dragon. Jump kick the ball. Jump kick them. And then you want to jump right here. So my visual cue is after I jump kick the last 2 enemies, I look up. And the top left, you can see this white thing with some probably Japanese symbols or something on it. I don't know what they are. It looks like a face, actually. When you're 2 bars past that, on the top of the screen and the ceiling, and then not the second bar, but the little swirly thing on the right side, it's right arm or whatever. See how my head is directly under that swirly thing above me? 2 bars to the right of the face. That's where you jump. Jump too early, you won't manipulate the spawn. If you jump too late, you won't manipulate the spawn. This seems to be a good spot right here. I don't know if pause is going to mess it up. But I'll show you what it looks like if you forget to jump. So you jump here, take the damage, kick, and oh no, I forgot to jump. Now the second guy is going to be small. And you're pretty much dead because the strat is to moon kick here. And you can't moon kick the big guy, jump over the little guy, and to take the boomerang. So if you forget to jump, you're pretty much dead unless you want to stop to kill them and then attack the boss. Alright, so one more time. Jump right here. And it was too early, so try one more time right there. Should be good. thing, kick the guys, and that's a 2-frame kick, the one that I just failed. Depending on what frame you get there, it's usually a 2-frame kick. But it can also be a 1-frame kick if you get there on certain frames. This game's weird like that. First time I ever measured it, it came up to be 1 frame, and I was like, well, really? It seems easier. 2 frames isn't all that easy either. Jump here, and we should be fine. Now we got a moon kick. Right when we see the boss come onto the screen, that's when you want to start the moon kick. That way you can be kicking the enemies and falling down towards the floor so that the stun you take from the first boomerang is as minimal as possible. So let's get there one more time. What am I doing? And then I'll show the strats that I use. And I would make a save state, but I would need a backup, so I'm just hoping I can do this in one more try here. Oh, backup strat. No. Jump over. Jump right here. Okay, should be fine. Oh, we didn't take damage. Alright, well. This is, the jump is, and landing on the snake is pretty precise. And this is kind of the main reason I don't use this exact strat, but if you can get the jump down, the rest of the strat is slightly easier. That's why I'm showing it first. Maybe I've jumped a little late there. No, we're good, okay. So I see the boss, I do the moon kick, and that came out pretty well. 1550, that's really great. That's great. I've seen as high as a 1552 using this strat. That's really hard to get. If you hit 1550, you done good. 1540s is still great. Just finishing the first and second levels is great using these strats, because these strats are hard. Okay, so let me show you what I do just slightly differently, okay? Instead of jumping there, I jump when the snake is lined up perfectly with Thomas's head. So not quite here yet. Right about there. That's about where I jump, okay? So I'm going to jump there, and jumping there is going to actually stun me a little bit when I land on the snake. So I'm trading the stun later. You know how we walk through the fire-breathing dragon? I'm trading that because we're going to do the dragon differently as well. So we're going to take more stun here and less later, and it's essentially going to be the same thing. Because we'll be getting to the boss on pretty much the same frame. I just find this one a little bit more consistent for me. I don't know why. So as soon as it's lined up directly with my head, I jump, we walk through this one, and then we jump into that the same way we do a knife cancel. So your jump into the falling dragon ball right there should look exactly the same as doing a knife cancel in level 1. Okay, so jump when it's directly in line with my head, take some stun, walk through him, and then right here. So that dragon ball doesn't fall in the other strat, but for some reason I'm more consistent with this one, so it's the one I'm using. And you still have to jump under that swirly thing later in the level. Let's see, it lines up with my head. I jump, walk through the dragon, jump into this one, and then the rest is kind of the same. Jump here. I see the boss, I do the moon kick. Oops, didn't jump again. And you'll get the same time. Yeah, these strats are either one is just as fast as the other. Now, every now and then, if you're using my strat, or even the other one, I guess, you can accidentally slightly screw it up. I'm going to give it one try here. You jump a little early or whatever, walk through the dragon, then you need a really fast cancel here. And I didn't get it. I was a couple of frames off. But you saw I jumped over the little guy, I kicked the ball, and I kicked a tall guy. If I'd done it perfectly right, there's like one frame that I found where you can kick them all. So you might as well try going for that if you can get it. In fact, I think I have a thing I can show that off real quick. So check this out. So yeah. There it is. So that jump over the little guy, kick the two tall ones, If you ever pull that off, you don't need to jump after you kick them. You're lined up perfectly to finish the level. And you'll get an even faster time. That's why I'm showing it. 1556 potential with that strat. Now, the only time I ever get that strat is by accident. So, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you jump over the little guy and kick two tall guys, you know you're on that. And, yeah, you may even want to practice finding out how to do that strat. I'll show it one more time, actually. So it's like a small stun on the snake jump, and then a really quick cancel on the falling Dragon Ball. And that sets it up sometimes. I'm very inconsistent with it, though. And you saw that when the boomerang hit me there, I was literally not even stunned because it was the frame I hit the ground. So that's about as fast as that strat can go with the 1556. But even if it's slightly slower, this strat right here is still faster than the other two that I just showed. Okay. So, yeah, that's it for level 2. Guess I'll do it one more time, then we'll go to level 3. Jump when he's at my head. Walk through, cancel this. Jump kick, jump here. I see the boss, I start the moon kick, and then I kick the boss. 1949, pretty good. Okay, level 3. So, level 3, there's not much to it, but what there is to do is really hard. The first trick is actually not that bad. And the first trick involves kicking this guy. That's it. And depending on how you kick them, it's going to set up all of the spawns later. I don't know why level 3 is like that, but it is. So if you kick him too early, like that, you're going to get a tall guy right here. And if you get a tall guy right there's the 4th enemy on the stage, you're guaranteed to get a very spaced out pattern right now. So this pattern is going to be all spaced out, and you're going to lose time as they're trying to grab you. And you can't moon kick any of them because, well, you can moon kick a few of them, but you get a couple shorties in there. And if you kick the first guy too late, the 4th enemy will be small, and that's what you want. But if you kick them too late, this next grouping after I shake these guys off, it's going to be exactly the same. Spaced out, tall, short, tall, short. Not much you can do with it but shake them off. What you really want to do is you want to kick this first guy right in the middle. And I guess one thing that I told somebody that seemed to help is imagine your foot meeting with their face. Like right about there. You don't want to kick them too early. You don't want to kick them too late. You want to kick them just right. And if you do it just right, and I don't know what the frame window or how hard it is, but it's pretty tricky. I don't know why. Sometimes it can be very finicky. If you do it just right, you'll get 4 tall people grouped together. And that's really nice because these strats now, if you want to go really fast in level 3 for the advanced strats, you're going to want to do 2 moon kicks right here. So you set up this tight group of talls, and then you attempt 2 moon kicks. If you get 1 moon kick, you're still going to save time on the level, so that's great, potentially. If you get both, you're going to save a lot of time if you do the boss fast. And the boss can be tricky as well. So let's get back to this. Nice, easy kick right in the middle. You get the short guy, and that'll let you know that, you might get the good grouping. Hopefully we kicked him right. And that was a bad shake. But and your shake also determines the grouping too. If you shake too slow, then the grouping changes. Like I'll get a short guy in here. You want to shake him fast. If you shake him real fast, I think you're going to get 3 talls and then a short. You can still moon kick the first 3 guys and then jump over the second one. You can actually jump over. You can see I'm jumping over these guys, but if I go this way, you can still jump over them. I'll show that off real quick. But it's kind of tricky. Jump. There we go. So you can do it. And one trick to do it is you want some extra hang time, kick while you're in the air. So anyway, that might have been too late. That might have been too late. Okay, I think that was good. So we want a good shake here. Should get 4 tall guys. Oh, sometimes you get that small one at the end. It's fine. You can still try it. If you miss the moon kick, just keep going. These are pretty much the old normal strats. And you do something like that to the boss. Hopefully this knife will hit me. No, it missed me. So I'll make a save state after... Nope. Gotta... Oh no, I can just press A when I jump over him. Okay. After I shake these guys off and see what I get, I'll make a save state. Okay, good. Moon kick 1. Miss 1, that's fine. You're gonna moon kick this guy now instead. Miss that, fine. Jump punch the boss, take a knife. And even with 2 failed moon kicks, you get like a 15-10. Okay, that's okay. As long as your health is low, that's important. We'll try this again. This is probably the hardest part of the whole game. Punch, turn, punch, punch, and if you're too slow, you die. Even if you get the moon kicks, how heartbreaking would that be? And when I said this is the hardest part of the game, it's not even the moon kicks, it's the boss too. Because you're dealing with a knife, turning around after you punch him, and then killing him before he kicks you to kill you. Okay, so that was pretty good. 1525 is really nice. You can get as high as like 1533 if everything goes perfectly, which it almost never does because this part of this level is so hard. Oops. Get this one more time. Save state. Okay, we kicked them. Now this part right here, you want to jump kick the boss, and you don't want to be too close to him. You kind of want to be, you know, you want your foot to meet his face as early as possible, because you have to turn around and punch that guy, and you kind of want that. You kind of want that knife to hit you as soon as possible too, because you're about to get punched. Okay. So if you can just time it right so that the knife and the fist hits you right around the same time like that, that's better. If you get closer to the boss, you waste some frames. And it's also safer to do it further away from the boss, I find. There we go. Because this boss can randomly crit you. And I haven't exactly found out why sometimes you get crit. I think it's because you try to attack them on a frame they hit you. But sometimes this boss will just crit you no matter what you're doing. You can just see standing there and he'll just be like, oh, I'm going to take 3/4 of your health with one kick. So, I didn't mean to duck there. Sometimes when you turn around and turn around again. There we go. That was pretty good. Quick cancel. 1534. That would be a great level to get in a run. The problem is sometimes if the boss crits you, then you want to avoid that knife. So the boss crit me there and the knife kills me. That's the problem. So you're going to have to duck under the knife when that happens. And I threw an extra punch, but I will live with that if I get that in a run. Still a 1532, very nice. And so I'm punching the boss once, and then I'm turning and hitting the guy behind me on the same punch. So it looks like this. Punch, turn, punch, turn, punch, turn. And you'll hit them both. Now, if you hit them both and then turn around real fast, you can punch the boss on that second punch a little bit faster than you normally would. Just standing there and punching like this. You're going to hit him. Oh, it's really hard to do. But, I did it in my tasks. I don't think I'll ever do it in real life. Typically, though, you're going to hit him, get stunned, and then punch him 2 more times. Hopefully he doesn't punch me twice. And it is weird how hard it is to kind of get some distance in there on him. Okay, we hit him twice. Good. Sometimes you can hit him twice before the stun. That's what I'm trying to do. Oops. And that'll make the stage even faster. There it is. But I got crit, so I'm dead. I could duck under that, though. That was it. You can hit him twice before you get stunned. Do a little cancel there. A little punch cancel to start walking even sooner. Oh, had to punch him twice there. So this is why this part's hard. You think the double moon kick was hard. Doing this guy right and getting a good pattern. This is the hardest part for me anyway. And you can accidentally duck and take no damage, which is bad. I want to see if I can punch him twice without getting crit again. No. Guess not. But 1534, fine. I'll take it. Good enough. So that's level 3. Level 4, this is when things start getting a little easier, believe it or not, for the speedrun. So, level 4, you just walk under this guy. You're going to jump kick this guy. And you're going to do a jump cancel into this guy. And it should look a lot like the other jump cancels you're doing. Like the knife cancels in level 1 or the Dragon Ball cancel in level 2. It should be nice and quick. It's a 2-frame trick. It's sneaky difficult for some reason. And it's really easy to mess it up. If you mess it up by accidentally walking into him, you can still, carry on with your level. You just got to jump over the next moth there. And that wastes some more frames. And if you do that, well, then, you got to get lucky with the boss. I don't think you can do a really fast shake off here. The boss will kill you in 2 hits now. So it really is ideal and really important to get that fast cancel on the moth, because what that does is it sets up a pattern up ahead where you can do a really fast shake off of the enemies behind you, and if you do a really fast shake off, then you can have the boss hit you twice to get you to a good amount of health right there. So you get a sliver of health. That's a perfect level. 1532, I'm guessing 31. Okay, almost perfect. That's what a really good level 4 should look like. There are ways to make it go faster, and the advanced strats now call for doing a moon kick at the end. The first part of the level is exactly the same, and I screwed it up because that jump cancel is too slow. So I don't have a backup strat if I miss the jump cancel. You have to get it. Maybe you can find one, but I don't have one. So, get the jump cancel on this moth here. There we go. And now, instead of shaking off the enemies really, really fast, we're going to do a moon kick over the little guy here. And I missed. So, next time we get there, I'll make a save state. Kick him. Nope. Kick. There we go. Holding it. Good. Don't accidentally jump. Okay. So, we're going to do a moon kick over this guy and kick that guy, and the other two will turn around, and then the boss, because everything we've done now, okay, this is all mapped out. Everything we've done has been perfect for this level. So I know for a fact what frame we got on. Well, not numbered, but I know every time we get to the boss, he's going to throw a Dragon Ball right in front of me, and it's not going to hit me 100% of the time. All you got to do is the quick moth cancel, and then that, and then you'll get that dragon every time. Just like that. And then you want to duck and punch the boss, but there is a certain rhythm to doing them real fast. If he hits you with the first, if he hits you after the first punch you throw, then you were too slow. If he hits you after the second punch you throw, that's good, because not only does it stun you at a good spot, but you want him to hit you after the second and fourth punches ideally, because the rhythm is punch, 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 okay? So the first three are kind of the same space in between them, but then the fourth one is as fast as you can make it. Because if you punch the boss quickly twice, he teleports. So punch, 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 punch. And he hit me with the second and the fourth one, so I did it perfectly right. Each punch, to do it just like that, where he hits you the second and the fourth one, I think they're frame perfect. I think there's one frame of leeway on the second punch. And the fourth punch, there might even be leeway on that one as well. So this is actually something that you should practice. Not just this moon kick, but getting that exact boss fight where he hits you after the second and fourth punches, you get a 1542 on the timer. Now if I'm one frame faster, I think on the second or the fourth punch, I can get a 1543, but that's pretty rare. One more try. Nah, he hit me with the first one, so I was too slow. You really want to punch him like the frame you kneel. It's really, everything's tight about this. There we go. I don't think I'm going to get the 43. No, just missed. So that's that boss. And again, to do that boss exactly like that, you're actually manipulating him to hit you twice. Which I really like, which is why I really like this strat right here. I think it's better than the old one, because with practice, you actually can manipulate the boss. And literally the only boss in this game you can manipulate, aside from the first one. Maybe the second one, I guess. But, it's pretty cool that you can manipulate him, at least, I think. It's just a lot more difficult than manipulating the other two bosses. So, worth practicing. That's all I'm saying. So level 5, this is probably one of the easier levels, if not the easiest. Not much has changed about this strat. It's all the same. Now all you want to do now is pay attention to your health after the shake off, which is good. That's where you want it. And then this pattern, the middle two guys, was short and tall. So that's going to tell me I jumped too late. If you get too close to the boss and you have a good pattern set up, which we did. If you get too close to him, he's going to duck. So you want to jump around the same spot every time. I think it's like right around here. Right under this pillar. If you get too close and jump, then a lot of times he ducks. So I'll go over that again. You want to have a sliver of health missing from a very fast shake off here. And then you want to pay attention. That was good. And then you want to pay attention to this pattern. It's usually small and then tall, the two middle ones. That means you're going to do a mid jump kick to him. And I kicked too early. So it's actually pretty finicky, this boss, that first kick. But if you know his patterns, then it helps immensely. And if you shake off too slowly, then you won't know his patterns. It has to be a fast shake off. Then you look at your health after you shake him off to make sure you didn't lose too much. Now, it's not, the health isn't 100% telltale because you may end up kneeling for longer while after you shake him off, but this should be good. Oh, I'm missing it. So I'm doing something wrong and I'm not 100% sure what. So we'll figure it out. Save state here. Oh, I didn't want to do it after the shake off. I wanted to show you the other patterns. That's fine, we can die. There it is. I don't know why that wasn't working before. I think I was kicking a little bit too early. Yeah, I think I was. Okay, so let's try to get to the shake part so I can show you the other two patterns that I know. If the middle two enemies are the same, so that means if the middle two enemies are both short or both tall, then you know you want to do an early kick on the boss. So I'd like to show that off if I can. I seem to, most of the time, get this pattern with a good shake. I'll try kicking a little later. There we go. So I was kicking too early. Okay. And, okay, I'll try kicking the boss one more time. Yeah, there it is. Okay. 1536, pretty much the staple time for this level. That's what you want. You can do it a little faster, but I wouldn't recommend trying to go faster than that unless the middle two enemies on the last grouping are the same. So let's try and find them. And this is really hard to manipulate, so I'm just going to keep shaking them off until we get the pattern. And it's also kind of uncommon to see the middle two either be short or tall. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's because I'm consistent or what. But ever since I started playing this game, I've always had the slower boss pattern locked in. I don't know why. This is a slower pattern. I kick too early again. So maybe you want to kind of think of the first kick on the boss as late when you get this pattern, and if they're the same in the middle, there it is. Yeah, think about it as an early kick. Sometimes you can still kick them depending on what frame you're on, and I don't have the smallest of health here, so maybe I can try early. No. As you can see, he's pretty much standing up every time when I get there, because I'm fairly consistent with my shake-offs. If you're slow, the chances of him kneeling are much higher. Oh, there we go. We got two shorties in the middle, so we're going to try and kick the boss early now. Like that. I wish I could have finished him off. If you finish him off with an early first kick, you'll get a 1539 on the timer. You can get as high as a 1540, 41, or 42. If you kick super early, get an odd pattern and get too early. And when I'll just say and get lucky, because it's really hard to get anything higher than 1540 on the boss. But yeah, that's it. If you're having trouble with the boss kneeling, try making sure you're jumping right here, literally right here, every single time. Where you jump does matter, because if I get this pattern again and I jump too late, it's not guaranteed that he's going to kneel. It depends on a few other things, like what frame it was, but it increases his chances. So I'll try and jump later here. No, still got him. But yeah, the more consistent you are with every input you do, then you'll start seeing things more consistently happen in the game. That's really what this game's all about. It's about doing everything the same and then getting the same results. And that just takes practice. So one more boss fight. Let's get him. There you go. There you go. Okay, so that'll conclude my tutorial, I guess. I showed off the new strats, explained the game to the best of my knowledge. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitch, Twitter, or even on YouTube, I guess. But yeah, hope this helps. Thanks for watching.